Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. We're going to finish up the 2 window pockets I started in the previous video. I have my tags, my journaling cards actually already cut, but I want to finish these up with you first before we get to the journaling cards. So I want to show you how I finish the backs. There's really nothing to finishing them because they're going to be on your page, so it's not like you have to decorate them. But I want to show you how I take care of this is when I fold it over. This is what it looks like. But I don't like this top part here. I want that hidden, and I still want this flap for just a little extra reinforcement. So as you can see, what I do is I just cut this at an angle. And I cut it right up to the top here. All right, and then all you see is this paper here. If you want to reinforce the back of this right here, you could just add a piece of washi tape, which maybe we'll do. It just kind of reinforces. If this is regular, just regular copy paper, it's not a heavier cardstock. This one I won't reinforce because this is a heavier cardstock. So I could just run a piece of washi tape here to reinforce it. And it can just be any old. I try to use my washi tape that I don't normally use in my, I'll use this, in my, on my pages, because you don't see it. And I don't want to use my really good tape. So I'm just going to run a little bit right across the top. And remember, you don't want to put it all the way to the top, because then you're going to block the block that there. And if you want to take it one step further, if you want to reinforce the whole back, you can do that as well. You can just grab we could grab this. You could grab a piece of old scrapbook paper. We'll reinforce this one as well. So let's just get the measurements. I think it's 5 inches. So this, and you remember, you're only going to put it to this little bit here. So maybe 5 3/4. And I guess it's just personal preference. And this is going to be 5 1/2. So again, it's just personal preference how you want to reinforce your page. And if you don't want this bottom showing, just cut a little bit here, and you will want to okay, you don't have to glue that, but you're going to want to glue this down here. I had to take my tip off and actually start this video over because I was fighting with the silver tip on this, and it was becoming quite a show. It was actually stealing the show of creating these cards. And then I'm going to run, instead of glue, I'm going to run my tape gun down the side here. And then I am just going to line this up. Whoop. I will line this up here. And this just makes it a little more sturdy, reinforces it a little bit more, because that's a thin, like I said, just copy paper. So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it this way. I'm going to just add a little bit of distress to that and just keep it plain and simple. I am going to bring this in a little bit. Or you can reinforce, and again, I'm going to use my gun here. You can reinforce it with scrapbooking paper. And then I just attach that down. And neither one, you're not going to see the backs, but again, it just makes it a little bit sturdier. That way, if you put it on a piece of copy paper in your journal, it's just a little extra padding there. So, all right, so that's how I finish the back of my envelopes. I have my coffee because it's a gorgeous day here, but it is windy as all heck, and it's cold. And I just thought, my son just left. He came home for lunch, had a nice lunch with him, and yeah, it's. I just figured after lunch it would be nice to have a nice warm cup of coffee. So these I had taped down with my tape ruler, and this one here isn't. I just want to even this up a little bit here. And now I'm just going to, take care of the, and I think what I'm going to do on these is I'm going to round the corners just to soften them a little bit. So let's get this done, and then I'm going to finish the front of the other pocket, and then we will just get these done. Because there's not going to be any embellishing on these journaling cards. Maybe a little bit on the bottom, but I want these to be true journaling cards so you have a lot of space to write on. So this one we had finished in the last video. So if you want to know how I got these little lines, and, well, not lines, but how I did all this, watch the previous video. And then this one here, I explained I wanted to use, I got my birds out and I went through them as well. And I want to continue with a Bible journaling theme here. So I went back in, again, I had shown you the religious sticker pack in the previous video, and I found this sticker here, Be Still and Know That I Am God, Psalm 46:10. And I really wanted to incorporate something with that, with this bird. I have a lot of bird images I went through, and I chose this one. I just figured that this beautiful little bird in all of its solitude, with the grain of wheat that it's sitting on, can be so still. And sometimes the only time they move is when the wind comes, and you'll see the entire piece of wheat move in the wind. But other than that, these little birds, whether they be little sparrows or chickadees or your little titmouse or your little phoebes, they can be so still when they sit on one single blade of wheat, or what am I thinking, a milkweed. And I just thought that was very befitting for the Be Still and Know That I Am God. So that's why I chose that one. And this one I am going to distress just a little bit, not too much, but it is awfully white, and I just want a little tad there. So before I attach our still little bird, I'm going to jazz this up a little bit. And I also cut out from my scraps, because if you remember, I'm trying to use up what's on my desk and use the scraps. So this was a small scrap from Medieval Mirage. Yay, I remembered it. I keep calling it Medieval Magic, Medieval. It's Medieval Mirage, and I'll put her link in my description below, so you can go to her beautiful Etsy shop and see some of the images that she offers. So I did cut these out here, and I am going to round the corners, but I wanted to add these. So I think I'm going to add this one here, and I will add this one up in that corner. I just thought they would be very pretty. And I'm going to try to go light on, because I don't have my little magic silver tip. It's all clogged and giving this girl a hard time today. I'm going to bring this over just to the end a little bit so I can kind of clip around and soften that with the corner. And I want to thank everybody for joining in and watching, for commenting. I do love all of your comments. And I'm really happy that you follow along and you like what I do. And if you want to see more, you know, if you want to see me incorporate more, if you are into Bible journeying, we're all on a Bible journey, aren't we? At least I am. But if you want to see more Bible journaling, just let me know. And I'd be really happy to incorporate some more. You know, it can be very, very soothing. I'm going to raise this up a little bit because I would like to have my sweet little bird here rest on the bottom of the card. So I pretty much have that in place. So what I'm going to do is I will just add my glue while it's in position. And it won't lose its place and line. And then if the tip comes up a little bit, I'll go ahead and put once I clean my silver tip, I'll put that back on. And I'm going to add just this little tiny piece up here just to break this up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear the cars in the background. I live on top of a mountain, and this weekend we have the National Car Show in I live in a resort area, and the National Car Show has come. They started rolling in last night, and I'm probably 7 miles from the lake. But when those cars come rolling into town, we have muscle cars, we have, you name it. We've got classic cars that come. You can hear them. I love them. We're going to go down Saturday and Sunday to see all of them. And they have, sometimes they will close the main street off at night from 8 to 11. And they allow them to drag race. One year they didn't because the town officials complained that they really tore up the road and left a lot of marks on it. But boy, everybody loves to watch them drag race. So we got the National Car Show, our National Car Show, going on, and we're headed there. Like I said, Saturday and Sunday we'll go down and walk around and see all the cars. We have everything from the 50, most of them are from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but it's really cool. It's a really cool event. All right, so there's our envelope, and I really don't think it needs any more. I think it's perfect just the way it is. And I just think adding these little, and again, I just had small little pieces of this paper. So don't, if you have a small little piece and you're thinking of throwing away, don't throw it away. You can cut the little flowers out and add them. So as we try to get rid of everything on our desk, but sometimes it's just hard. So here are the journaling cards. And again, I don't think, because I want them to be true. I want them to be true blue journaling cards. And these look pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have to add much glue after. And my journaling cards, I always add a little heavier cardstock to the back. Again, the paper on the front is just copy paper. And it's not that heavy. So I like to add just a plain cardstock on the back. And this one here will be going in this journal, and I like the way this extends down in here. And then this one will be going in here. But I do want to add tabs, excuse me. And I think this is pretty, the way this is coming down to meet the bird. So I do want to add a couple tabs so they're a little bit easier to pull out. So in my simple thinking, I have these that were left over. I could use those. I don't want to use these. I did say in my first video, I'm such a tease, that we would use these, but I think we'll use these on another project. Just because. So I think I'm going to take these and I'm going to use, I have a ticket left over, and I guess I could just try to fold it nicely so it's, and yes, the numbers will be upside down, but that's okay. And I think I just have to decide if I want it on this one, peeking out of here, or if I want it on the rose one. And then this one here, this might be, let's see if this is going to be too big. This actually goes into one of my little envelopes, mini envelopes. But these also make a nice tag. And I think that looks, I really like this here because you have so much going on in the top. This one here is a little more simple. You have your same colors here. Let me just see if I have another. I could also, we could use something like this. Let's see. We could, seeing that this is here, we could take some of the same style paper. And instead of that, we could just have a plain one to attach onto there. We could make it a little bit shorter, but that would go with this here. And maybe, just maybe, where's that other little tiny piece of paper that I showed you not to throw away? Because you can do more with it. What did I do with that? Oh, right here. We could also cut a small rose out of this and add it to the tag to continue the theme here. So why don't we try that and see how this works. I think this is the most fun of creating. You know, is just trying different things and see what works. And if you don't like something, just scrap it and start again. So we could actually see the way that is. Let's just try that. Let's just get this all jazzed up. Let's get this glued on here. And again, I don't have my little tip, so I don't want to have my cup overflow here with glue. And let's see, we're going this way with it. All right. And then let's see how this looks. I like that. I think that looks pretty. And it flows, it just keeps it consistent. So we are going to, and I just want to see, I don't want this hanging down, so I'm going to see exactly how far. Okay, so we're just going to go down below. We don't want to go past this line right here. So let's get this. Get some glue on both sides here. I'm just going to eyeball at the center. It's pretty easy to do when you have a larger card. Okay. I'm going to try not to touch the back. My hands are somewhat nasty. I don't want to touch the back too much. So there's our journaling card in there, which I think is really, really pretty. And let's take care of this one. And again, we're going to see, I want to see how far we're going. This one is just going to This one is just going to touch the top. There. There. And then this one will nestle right down inside here. And there, we're good to go. There, lovely. All right. So that wraps up the these two pockets and journaling cards. I'm not going to call them tags because they really are more of a journaling card. And I think they're quite lovely. I really do like the verses on here. I think it gives them a very calm, a very soothing feeling to both of these. So I hope you liked this video, everybody. If you did, I'd love to have you like it. Give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about my channel. Yeah, and just, you know, if you want to see more Bible journaling ideas for your books or your scrapbooks, let me know. And I will see you again. I'll see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.